All right, back to action here in Super Gas, round number 1. The objective's still the same. Got a good light, run the number. The number down there on the scoreboards, 990, the predetermined index for this category. Summit side of the racetrack from York, PA, that is Brenda Hunter. Brenda driving the 63 Corvette Roadster alongside Brian Folk. Folk out of Durand, Illinois, 2007 Camaro Roadster. Side by side. Once again, thank you for your patience. And here we go. Resuming round. Good lap for both racers. How about a 989 for Brenda Hunter? On the double breakout win, 989 at 163. Brian Folk, 987, 300 at 162. Your next pair, it's Charlie Flanagan from Maria Stein, Ohio. The 81 Camaro, left side, alongside Mike Jerusik from Elyria, Ohio, and the 63 Corvette Roadster. Again, 990, the magic number. That's what they're trying to hit. See the cars launch hard and then slow down and then kick in again. That is a throttle stop. And that's how they tune the car to run the number. And Charlie Flanagan does it. 990 with a 7 at 150. Couple that with a 009 light. That is a 16 thousandths package. 16 thousandths from a perfect run for Charlie Flanagan. 4 under 986 for Mike Jerusik. Two more coming at you right now. Richard Spradlin out of Van Loo, Ohio. The 67 Nova. Alongside John Sickich from Belmont, Ohio with a 63 Corvette. You can see the Corvette body style, very popular. Roadster. Sickich be charging hard, trying to make up ground. Finish line says Sickich for the win. He's 006 on the tree. 992 at the finish line at 163. Richard Spradlin crossed the line first, and too quick, 988 at 141. Here comes Mark Sanders out of Harrison, Ohio. The Street Heat Motorsports 2005 Chevy Cavalier. Alongside Jeff Gerber. Massillon, Ohio. And Gerber already sees his win line flashing on the Budweiser scoreboard as Mark Sanders' red light start. Gerber 982 at 138. Broke out, doesn't matter. It's just a time pass to tune it for the next round. Mark Sanders, his event is done here, 983 at 169 plus the red light start. It's Ryan Bolin out of Wilmington, Illinois. 93 Mustang over there, summit side of the track. He's lined up alongside Tim Schmidt from Massillon, Ohio. 67 Camaro, another roadster, left-hand steer machines. Both drivers taking their time to stage. They've lit the pre-stage beams. They got to pull forward another 7 inches. Schmidt moves in. Off we go. Bowling down track. Here comes Schmidt trying to make up the difference. Finish line. It is Schmidt for the win. 991 at 167. Tim Schmidt, your winner. For Ryan Bolin, 992 at 139 to finish out his night. Door slammers, the pair coming up now. Tim Tyree out of Palmyra, Wisconsin. 77 Monza pulls up summit side alongside Joey Ship. Hoosier, Pan Oil, Jiffy Lube machine, 91 Cutlass. At the finish line, it is Tyree for the win. 996 at 131. For Ship, 1 under 989. under the index. He breaks out, so Tyree advances to round number 2. 2 more coming at you. It's Steve Theodore out of Columbus, Ohio, the McLaughlin Oil Fast Loop 63 Corvette. This year out of Fort Wayne, the Starfleet Trucking Starfire. And for Bashir, he is your winner. How about a perfect trip zip? 000 light for Bashir, 994 at 142. Theodore also runs 994, but the reaction time for Bashir hands him the round win. Coming up now, it's Hank Stewart out of Winnicott, Wisconsin. The Stress Express 80 Monza, alongside Edmund Richardson. You might have heard of that guy. Multi-time champion out of Greenbrier, Tennessee. Stewart red lights his chances away. Automatic win for Edmund Richardson. Richardson would have been tough to beat with that 003 on the tree. Backs out of the throttle, 1038 at 116, 991, but done for Hank Stewart. Here's Murray Hebert, or Hebert, depending on what part of the country you're in. Baxter, Minnesota, the home base. For the Murray Hebert's Heating and Cooling 71 Vega. Taking on Bob Hanshew out of North Homestead, Ohio. Another red light start. This time Murray is done. Bob Hanshew picks up the automatic win. 988 at 147. For Murray, he drives it out the back door, 973 at 151. Bill Nuzzo out of Irwin, PA. The Snap-on dealer. Wheeling the 93 Mustang. Alongside Carl Root from Washington, Illinois. The Hare Racing Products Chevy 2. Former national event winner. Represented Division III in the Jags All-Star race. Long-time campaigner here in the super gas category. Again, neither driver too anxious to stage. There they go. Root and Nuzzo. Here comes Carl Root trying to make up ground. The double breakout win goes to Bill Nuzzo. 988 at 104. He is your winner. Root breaks out by more. He goes 986 at 152. He's 4 under. Nuzzo 2 under. Nuzzo moves on. He'll be back to race tomorrow. One of these two will as well. Gary Hardig out of Canal, Winchester, Ohio, the 68 Camaro. That's the Summit side of the track. Over here in the Budweiser lane, Rob Cropfeld out of Hamilton, Ohio. Corvette Roadster. And one driver is just dead late off the starting line. Pays the price, tries to make it up on the other end, still couldn't catch him. Too quick, 988 at 163 for Cropfeld. Gary Hardig gets the win, 997 at 155. He had about a tenth of a second to play with down there at the finish line. Lee Newmeyer comes up now, the student out of Shelby, Ohio. Student / wallpaper hanger. What an occupation. 76 Vega. Lines up left side. Right side, it's Mark Cook out of New London, Ohio. The Chevy S10 represents Badman Racing Engines. Both of them got those throttle stops dialed in, and away they go. Will it be the Vega or the S10? It is the Vega. 991 at 138. Mark Cook took the strike, broke out by 5. Took 6. broke out by 5. He's 985 at 155. Lee Newmeyer, your winner. It's Bob Corcoran up next out of South Lyon, Michigan. The Corky's Car Clinic Grand Prix lines up alongside Madison Finn out of Vermillion, Ohio. The 69 Camaro, Budweiser Lane. Full throttle as they head down track. Finish line, the Grand Prix or the Camaro. It is the Grand Prix. 991 at 154 for Madison Finn. 4 thou too quick. 989.6 at 161. That's 4 thousandths too quick. Win line for Bob Corcoran. And they just keep coming around the bend. Here's my old buddy Jim Falvey. Falvey Welding Dartzaster 2 Dodge Dart out of Clinton, Illinois. He's alongside Skip Sadler from Erie, PA. Falvey out of the water box. Sadler pre-staged. Here comes Falvey. As they head down track, Falvey and Sadler. It's going to be Sadler. How about a dead on 990 with a 7? Runs the number 990 with a 7. 144. Falvey too quick. 988. He's 2 under the index at 148. Lance Pinto comes up now out of Walworth, New York. 2005 Cavalier. Caller Sis out of Mooresville, Indiana. The race to win Opel GT. Janice drills the tree, takes the win. She is 001 on the tree, 993 at the big end at 159. Pinto 309, 87 and done at 148. Tim Gillespie pulls up now. Xenia, Ohio, the home base for the Gillespie Racing 33 Ford Roadster. Pontiac power out there beside the driver, alongside Connie Rudy from Lima, Ohio. 1975 American Motors Gremlin. Big block Chevy power to assist her down the track. Rudy out in front. They're back and forth. Finish line's going to decide it, and it is 10:01 for Tim Gillespie, your winner. 132 for the speed. Connie Rudy 10:05 at 135. She gave up both ends of the package. Tim Gillespie moves on to round number 2. Dwight Noose, the Pig Farmer's Delight, 1982 Dodge Ram. Richardson out of Woodburn, Indiana, the P&R Express Forenza. Down track they go. Noose breaks out by 5. He's 985 on the 990 index. 991, good enough for the win for Paul Richardson. He'll move on. 162 for the speed. Here's Steve Eckert out of Pataskala, Ohio, the Pataskala Flash. 2001 Corvette Roadster. Alongside Troy Coughlin Jr. from Delaware, Ohio. Might recognize the colors there on his 57 Corvette. Sponsored by Jegs.com. TJ and Steve moving down track. Win line says it is TJ for the win. Troy Coughlin Jr. 991, 161 for your winner. Steve Eckert 309.87 at 167, trying to make up the difference that he gave up at the starting line. Could not do it. TJ moves on to round number 2. It's Roger Bishop up next out of Mooresville, Indiana, the 75 Monza. He'll pair up alongside Brian Woodburn, Indiana. Richardson done right there on the starting line. 005 red for him. Bishop, the automatic win. He'll drive it out to a 990 with a 1. Dead on with a 1 at 151. Richardson off pace 1281 at 73. Two more coming up at you. Pair of roadsters side by side. Jeffrey Reed out of Batavia, Ohio, alongside Larry Rodell. Evansville, Indiana. The Bald Man transmission. 27. Ford or Chevy, it's going to be Larry Rodell with Ford. Budweiser Lane, 992 for the win, 150 for the speed. Rodell will be racing on Sunday. Jeffrey Reed is done tonight, 997 at 152. Reed had the reaction time, but could not run the number at the big end. Tyler Schneider coming up now out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. The 1980 Monza had kind of a rough day yesterday. A little electrical fire on a qualifying pass. He's alongside Ronnie Sesko out of Lansing, Ohio. Sesko had the starting line advantage, took the stripe, broke out by 2. Tyler Schneider gets the win, 993 at 138. Sesko breaks out, 988 at 142. You Spitzer Top Dragster folks, thanks for hanging in there with us. Appreciate your patience. If you're not there, you certainly need to be, as you will follow Super Gas. Here's Steve Williams, the True Blue Ford Pro, Ford Power, out of Noblesville, Indiana. Lines up alongside Alan Bush from Erie, Illinois, the 2005 Chevy Cavalier, Budweiser Lane. Williams moves in. Williams down track. Here comes Bush charging hard. Finish line says it is Bush for the win. 990 with a 7, 167. That's the number they're looking for. Steve Williams, 991 at 147. So margin of victory. How close was that? Computer had to decide at .0008. That's 8 10,000ths. That is close. Down there at the finish line. Probably about, what, an inch? Something like that. Pretty dang close. Pittsburgh, PA. Moving down track in her Cavalier alongside Ron Brady from Clarksburg, West Virginia. Miss Mia, 990 with a 1. 020 on the tree, dead on with a 1. Thinks she's got it figured out for Ron Brady. 6 under 984 at 162. He crosses first, but she gets the win. Jacob Elrod. See that big number 1 out there on the intake? He is the national champion in Super Gas for 2015. Herod, Ohio, the home base for the Mosier, Abruzzi, K&N, Hoosier sponsored entry, 92 going alongside Jerry Spoor from Van Wert, Ohio. Spoor heads down track. Win light says Jacob Elrod will move on to round number 2. 994 at 159 for Jacob Elrod. The champ moves on. Jerry Spoor, 989 with a 2. He's 8th out under the 990 index. Gary Lincoln coming up now. A pair of roadsters on the starting line. Lincoln left side from Cumberland, Ohio. Outing right side from Richland, Michigan. 54 and retired. How do you do that? So a pair of 991s. Reaction time decided that one for Gary Lincoln. 991.9 at 142. Outing done with a 991 at 153. More roadsters coming at you. Dale Bernard, Meadville, Pennsylvania. The Holbrook Tool and Molding 34 Chevy Roadster. He'll line up in the Summit Lane. Alongside Dave Goins from Plymouth, Michigan. That's a 27 Ford Roadster. Ford power out there in front of the driver for the Michigander. Win line says 991 for Dave Goins. Budweiser Lane. Goins is your winner at 138. At the 8th mile, they were pretty close. But Bernard slows at the finish line, 1184 at 85. Coming up now, it's Larry Burnshausen, the 77 Vega wagon out of Manitou, Illinois. He's alongside Jeff Smith Jr. from Plymouth, Indiana, 27 Ford Roadster. Our chief starter, Brad Bushell, out there with the arms raised, holding up our pair from pulling into the stage beams until the car clears the top end of the track. Can't send somebody down on top of a slow mover down there. So as soon as he sees they are all clear and gets the word from the turnoff down there, he'll let our racers know that they can pull up. So top dragster drivers, we're about 6 pairs away from finishing up here in Super Gas, looks like. So Spitzer Top Dragster, you will be up next. Well, attention on the grounds out there. If you have lost a pair of glasses, I assume prescription glasses, we believe they are glasses for a woman. So a pair of glasses for a woman. We have found them over by the administration building over there by the Durango. Our track crew has them. So if you've lost a pair of glasses, see our track crew and they will see if they are yours. You can identify them, you can claim them. So we got the all clear from the shutdown area. Our vehicles are clearing the top end of the track, and as soon as they do and are back in position, our next pair will be headed down. It's Larry Burnshausen out of Manitou, Illinois. The Sloan's Racing Transmission 77 Vega wagon. Alongside Jeff Smith Jr. Little roadster over here out of Plymouth, Indiana. That is a 27 Ford with Chevy power out there in front of the driver. Again, we are continuing here with round number 1 of eliminations here in the Super Gas category. Finish line, it is Jeff Smith Jr. taking the win. 992 at 143 for your winner, Jeff Smith Jr. For Larry Burnshausen, his night is done. 995 at 144. Bob Kasanka out of Oak Harbor, Ohio. 80 years young, retired, the 63 Chevy 2. Pairs up alongside Edward Rudick. Ed Rudick out of Mount Prospect, Illinois. The elevator repair down chassis service Corvette. Finish line says it is Edward Rudick for the win. 10:17 at 147. Bob Kasanka slows to an 11:06 at 128. Two more, Robert Eaker, Canby, Indiana. The A&J Auto Sales 67 Nova wagon. Tim McGuire alongside from Oberlin, Ohio, the Wakeman Power 86 Monte Carlo. At the finish line, it is Robert Eaker for the win, 991, 147 for your winner. Tim McGuire, he is 1 under 989, breaks out by 1 foul, 151 for the speed. Two more pull up now. It's John Squires out of Defiance, Ohio, the 68 Camaro. He'll line up alongside Justin Mosier out of Portland, Indiana. Corvette Roadster pulls up alongside and takes the win. Justin Mosier, 993 at 167. For John Squires, 996, a little bit off there at 160. A little tardy at the starting line as well. It's Marcus Bush, Aledo, Illinois. Marcus picked up the Wally yesterday, as I recall. And when we finished up our Indy event, alongside Joe Fisher from Clayton, Ohio, the owner of Racing RVs. His 63 Corvette, a lot of ground to make up. Can he get the job done? Not even trying. He gets the win as Marcus Bush never found the brake pedal. He broke out by 5 thou 989 with a 5. That's 5 thousandths too quick. Fisher off pace 1064, but he'll be back for round number 2.
He blew the motor up in that car yesterday. They hauled tail back home to get another car, crashed the dually, bringing the engine back, sent another truck out to get the engine while the dually was being towed in. Got the engine in, had absolutely no idea what the car was going to run, and gets a win out of it.
So should I not call him lucky?
Some days it pays to be lucky.
That's right. Dan Giles gets the win there, 10:09 at 134. For Matt Moody, 10:31 at 117. And if you read his Facebook post, you'd get that. So with that, I believe we have wrapped up round number 1 of Super Gas. And with that, it'll be the second qualifying session for Spitler's Top Dragster. The long, quick cars here trying to make the qualified 32-car field. And to call all the action here in this qualifying session, Mr. Bob Unkefer.
And the bump spot, 10:45 by Tom Elliott. Now remember, only one qualifying session in the books for our Spitzer Race Cars Top Dragster field. We speculated that it might be a record bump before all was said and done. I still think that possibility exists. Richard French out of Columbus, the Spitzer machine on the left-hand side. Tony Billett out of Boardman, the landscaping contractor. Bottle Baby Mike Boz chassis craft car over here on the right-hand side. Big Motors a pair, top dragster the category, 6 second. 200-mile-an-hour shooters getting ready to run and rock and roll down the racetrack here at Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park. Final qualifying will set our field, determine who is going to run to whom when we get into round number 1 tomorrow. And Tony off the throttle. Meanwhile, Richard hustling through, 650. 212-mile-an-hour lap for him. For Tony, launched, came off the line. Decent 60-foot time, but after that, there was nothing there. He needed that pass to step up, solidify his spot in the field. Fritch goes 650. There is improvement out there. We're going to see a pretty good shuffling, I think, especially the bottom half of the field here in our top dragster category. Dan Norris, David Jameson next pair. Dan currently down at the bottom, a 9:24 lap. Here's one of the cars that certainly wants to make an improvement run. Top 24, all in the 6-second zone. Then we've got 4 cars in the 7-second zone. An 8-second car, Tom Fisher. The 9-second car, Dan Norris. Then Mike Trouth and Tom Elliott in the 10-second zone. We're going to bump them, I'm sure. Karma Hopper, Chris Schneider, Joe Fisher, all set to come. Along with the cars just making their conventional second lap to get down the racetrack. Watch that first step there, buddy. David Jameson here on the right-hand side. Dan Norris left lane. David's top 5 runner, the green, lean, mean machine. Out of Twinsburg over here on the right-hand side. 6:18, 2:26, the lap earlier today. Dan Norris looking a whole lot more better going down the racetrack. 6:07, 228 miles an hour, 6:19 by David Jameson. Dan Norris goes from number 30 all the way up to number 3. Told you we were going to shuffle this field around a little bit this session. Jameson goes 6:19. He was 6:18 earlier today. We'll stay consistent. And Dan Norris takes a huge sigh of relief, knows that he is in this show to stay. Michael Smith up now, the Michigan-based runner over on the left-hand side. That is a Sean Bowen fabricated chassis. That is an Alan Johnson Performance Engineering Oldsmobile. Blown power plant for him. Jared Jones, the diesel car. Out of Scheid, the diesel service over here on the right-hand side. The diesel machine not able to come backwards after going forward on the burnout. And for Jared Jones, stepping out of the car, getting up and over the wall, it'll be a competition buy ride for Michael Smith's machine. Now, Michael's number 7. He's already been 618 at 227 miles an hour out of the Michigan-based hot rod. Kind of a short wheelbase machine, but Sean Bowen fabricating the chassis. This puppy is working and working well. 618, 227. Competition buy, or I should say a single run for him to get down the racetrack. It looks like they shut off Michael. We're going to go out and get Jared Jones' machine off the racing surface. So send a crew down to pick up Jared's car. Or I don't know about pick it up, but at least push it back. That Cummins diesel machine losing fire after the burnout, not able to get it relit. So we'll send a Summit Motorsports Park crew down, all hands on deck, put the car in R for reverse and get it out of the way. Michael Smith will sit and wait patiently, as will the rest of our Spitzer top dragster field for their final qualifying effort. Top Alcohol Funny Car needs you to lanes, please. Top Alcohol Funny Car needs you to the staging lanes, please. All right, attention in the pits, please. Competition Eliminator and top sportsman competitors. Your final qualifier will be tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Comp Eliminator and top sportsman. Your final qualifier tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Oh, hang on there, Mikey. Woohoo! Front end came up, car went to the right, crossed over the center stripe, and well, heck bells. Yeah, it's kind of a good thing Jared Jones' car wasn't there, huh? So Michael will stay in the number 7 spot. Jared Jones remains in the number 29 spot. And I have to tell you, that is a tad precarious position to be in. So our next pair rolls up. The 32 Bantam machine over here on the right-hand side. Jim Prevost up on the left side, the Illinois-based carpenter, and Mike Shield right down the road. Hometown runner based here in Norwalk, the 32 Bantam-bodied machine. 526 cubic inch, big Hemi. Short wheelbase ride. He had an interesting run earlier today, not in the show. He wants to get in. Run better than a 10-second lap. On and off the throttle. Goes 7:08 at 153. That'll put him in. 6:34 by Jim Prevost. Up on the left-hand side. Jim moves up to the number 14 spot. Michael goes in number 27. The bump now becomes Mike Trouth's 10:15. And Tom Fisher's 835 is the number 31 number. Here's Tom Elliott, Brooks, Kentucky-based runner on the right-hand side. Have not seen a good lap out of Tom yet. Kathy Fisher, pulling up her hot rod over on the right-hand side of the racetrack. The young lady in the 5th season. As co-host on Performance TV on the Velocity, MAV TV, and Revin Networks. Looks like Tommy's got problems. His car losing fire. Not one to come back to life. And for Tom and Suzanne, the gang making the tow from Brooks, Kentucky. And they're not going to be able to make the hit. Kathy Fisher for Armor Coat, Ceramic Coating, Ohio Crankshaft, K&N and Borla, Mickey Thompson Tires, and Sunoco Race Fuel. Asking you to come by the trailer. After the pass, the first 20 fans back to the pit area that can tell us what they ran during this lap will get a exceptional Dragon-esque prize for the young lady out of Lima, Ohio. American Race Cars, Chassis Machine, Pro Charge, Big Block Combination. Tom Elliott's car still running, just wouldn't go backwards. Kathy Fisher sitting and waiting patiently. Her shot getting ready to come now. She's number 11 at the 627. She's in. Tom Elliott over on the right-hand side. He's not. He wants it. He's not. Kathy's car hooking, booking, crooking down the racetrack. 635, 214. 731, 129 miles an hour by the hair on his chinny chin. Tom Elliott's in the show for now. Number 29 on the qualifying sheet. You know that record bump we were talking about? Well, it ain't going to happen. Kathy stays number 11 in the Dragon S machine. Tom Elliott goes to 29. The bump now becomes Tom Fisher's 835 number. Mike Trouth just got bumped out. Karma Hopper's not in the show. Chris Schneider, Joe Fisher. So our next pair comes in. Here's your reigning champ, Marco Abruzzi. Marco right now sitting in that lucky number 13 qualifying spot. Johnny Deacon out of Louisville, the Quick Fuel Technology designer. Gets ready to take his racecraft machine down track. Those of you out there, don't forget, first 20 people by the pits hailed Kathy. She went 635 Ford, 214. Little bonus prize for you. Johnny Deacons, Marco Abruzzi. Both runners in. Both drivers looking for a little consistency and a little improvement. Top Alcohol Funny Car needs you to the lanes, please. Top Alcohol Funny Car to the lane. Wheels up, out of the gate. Johnny Deacons. Can he improve on his 707? He does. 629. 216 miles an hour. 632 for Marco. 218 mile an hour pass. Johnny goes to 12. Marco improved and gets bumped right back to that lucky number 13 spot by Deacons going into the number 12 spot. But that tightens up the field a little bit more. Tom Fisher, 835-1, still the bump spot as we continue to work our way through session number 2. Tim Antonora, Kendall, New York-based runner, Profab chassis car. Big motored Chevrolet, got the blower sitting up on top of it, 644. The opening lap for Tim and Gary. See what they can do here in the cooler evening air going down the 1,320-foot quarter mile. Summit Motorsports Park, the 10th annual event here for the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Tour. Brought to you by Budweiser this weekend. And Tamora up on the left-hand side. Saw one of the cars get towed off just a bit ago. That was a scheduled competitor. Problems once they got up here and couldn't get her started. Antonora trying to improve on a 644. Nice lap, goes 6:17, 225 miles an hour. That'll move him out of the number 22 spot all the way up to the number 6 spot. Everybody behind him, take a step backwards, and you don't even have to ask, Mother, may I? But yes, you may. Brian Keller still sitting number one. That's 6:01 lap. Here comes Karma. Hopper, left-hand side. 6:55 Chrysler Motivation for the runner out of Walton, Kentucky. Gorgeous automobile over there on the left-hand side of the racetrack. Mike Trouth on the right-hand side. Neither car in the show. Two gorgeous automobiles, two Chrysler-powered machines, teammates out of Kentucky coming up from the Bluegrass State, and I got news for you. They don't want to have lane choice tonight on the highways and byways back to Kentucky. Both these drivers looking to get in. Both these drivers should be in. Just by virtue of a couple of bad laps in the opening round, neither one of them are in. So right now, that 8:35 bump spot of Tom Fisher, the 7:74 lap of Jared Jones, looking to be precariously perched position. Here comes Karma. Here comes Mikey. Oh, Karma. Problems again. Flaming out. Here on the starting line. 6:75, 2:07 by Mike. Karma's Mopar machine, not a happy camper. You can see it belching fire and flame out of the scoop. It's kind of the way my stomach felt a little bit earlier today. It's amazing what a little Zantac will do for you. Hey.